Hi, this is Shadi, and today we will discuss Kinshiwaza or forbidden techniques. There are a total of 4 techniques that are considered within this list. The first one being Ashigarami, the second being Dojime, the third being Kanibasami, and the fourth being Kawazu Gake. The first two were banned in 1916. I believe Kanibasami was banned in 91 and Kawazu Gake around 2003. I may be off a little bit, but around that area. So today what we will do is go through them and try to find a legal, more competition-friendly version of these techniques. It's not gonna be, it's gonna be a little bit of a discussion and also go through the techniques. So there is a way I do believe that they can come back, but not all of them. First, let's start with Ashigarami. I am sorry to say this, but there's no way I'm bringing this submission back from the dead. It is dangerous, and also leg locks as a whole in judo are not a thing. I don't know if they're ever gonna come back, but Ashigarami seems to be the nastiest of them all. The way you compress and flex your adductors down on the knee and also extend your hips, it can really rip out the ligaments that are on the inside of the knee. I will show you what kind of damage they will do. So here you see you split the crotch, and then you reap the knee, and then you flex and get the tap out. So here, let's somewhat see the effect of it. So it's kind of like this. You see here, it's really putting the knee towards the inside, and then it damages it. This is from Joshiro Maruyama's documentary. Here, let's see it again, and then he falls down. This is the inside of his knee, what happened to it afterwards. So there's no coming back, in my opinion. Next, Kawazu Gake. Now, my personal opinion is Kawazu Gake is not all that dangerous, because for one reason. The reason why is you're actually taking the flexed leg and the knee away from the sacrificing body, and thus not making it that much dangerous. If you are collapsing on the leg and the leg cannot bend, then yes, it's very dangerous. Here, this is 2014. Someone actually got away with Kawazu Gake. She was actually going for Ochigari, and then got the leg tangled, and then pulled it away from her, and sacrificed herself on to Uke, and thus got the ippon. No one got hurt, but nonetheless, the idea behind it is that you have the leg that cannot bend, and then you fall on it, and thus it becomes dangerous. So the solution, remember when Shintaro did that video called heel hook Deashi, where he showed this entanglement from the side, where it helps you lift the weight off of the leg, and thus reaping it becomes very easy. Well, this entanglement is far more shallow than the original Kawazu Gake, and thus it becomes far safer. And to add to it, let's take Denis Zenikov's, I would say, spin on it, where he would wrap around the back of Uke, entangled the same way that Shintaro did, and kicks away, again, the same way Shintaro did, but what he added was the sacrificial element to it, or the aspect, which makes it a Sutemiwaza, just like the Kawazu Gake you just saw from the Kodokan. So I would say this is a far more competition-friendly and safer version of Kawazu Gake, where you can do it, kick away, and sacrifice yourself the same way you saw the Kodokan demonstration, and it would technically be Kawazu Gake in my opinion. Next one, Kanibasami. Easily the most dangerous. The thing with Kanibasami, we have to understand that what makes it dangerous is the upper body grab. The upper body grab is what makes it dangerous, because you collapse on your knees and your ankle, and thus you rupture them and you injure them. But if you fall away from them, like Kawazu Gake, I would say there's not that much risk. We're gonna see an example of an injury that happened with Kanibasami. Here you see the scissoring action, and you hold on to the upper body. Let's see 1980 All Japan Yasuhiro Yamashita. You see here, suddenly goes for Kanibasami and then pulls him to the side and not backwards. So this is what made his ankle absolutely shattered, is that he collapsed right on his ankle and not away from his ankle. Kawazu Gake and Kanibasami should be the same. You should be getting away from your knees in order for them to be safe. So recently I've talked about capoeira, and what capoeira does is they sacrifice themselves, which is a sutemiwaza, Kanibasami, but they post their hand on the ground. Thus, there's no upper body control, and then they roll over and take uke down. Let's see here an example. He takes him down, roll away with Kanibasami, no upper body control. Takes him down, nothing happens. He falls away from his knees and ankle. In my opinion, this is a far better choice if you want to go with Kanibasami, only when the hands are not grabbing the upper body. Final one, dojime. Dojime is your closed guard, where you really squeeze and tighten on the ribs, can cause obviously injuries to the ribs and internal organs. The reason why this was prohibited, because even till this day, the All Japan, you have what is called the open weight, and back then there was no weight category, so you can have someone like Teddy Rene go up against Takato, and imagine him locking his legs and squeezing him. He would absolutely just kill him basically, and it suffocates. I've been put in it unintentionally, and it does work. So what exactly is dojime? Dojime, you have the body and the strangle. You can attack the torso and the diaphragm in other ways. One great way is none other than keisa gatame. There's many osaikomis that they themselves are a submission, from sankaku gatame and also keisa gatame. Keisa gatame, not only you have a triple whammy from chokes, arm locks, and also you have the pin. Same with sankaku gatame. Keisa gatame can also serve as a choke. I'm sure you've heard wrestlers say body compression. Many times on the IJF circle, you see here Henry Atkins is explaining it. Henry Atkins is a Hickson Gracie third degree black belt, so you know he's all about the classics. He explains that he brings his legs towards him and drops his weight on uke, and thus compressing the chest like the wrestlers. Many times on the IJF circuit, like here you see Kanto and Travis Stevens, many tap to the pin when they are suffocating. When you have your weight on their diaphragm and you are actually squeezing their head and their arms, or just their head, they tap out. Sometimes the pin itself is a submission. You can compress the body, dojime, hence the term dojime. The best way, in my opinion, is to do it from keisa gatame, judo's most, I would say, renowned pin. Rarely done in jiu-jitsu, fear of taking the back, because you know the back is the king in jiu-jitsu. But you can easily choke from keisa gatame, judo's old school pin, by really dropping your weight down on the diaphragm and also the torso in general. And many people, you see them on the IJF circuit, they tap from the pin. It's because they are being suffocated by the weight and also grabbing the head and squeezing it. So if you have anything else to add, let me know down below. Also, consider supporting me on Patreon. I have exclusive content for the patrons only, and please do not forget to check out Josh Simon's shop for articles and the t-shirts. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.